him. It is not possible. And that is what I refused President William Ruto. He wanted to be the leader of the Mount Kenya region. I said, you are the president of Kenya, lakini kwa jamii, there are leaders there ambaye utafanya kazi na hawa, but huwezi kuja direct kwa hawa. Lazima ukue na hao wamejipanga vizuri, ukitaka kuongea na hao uongee na jamii ambaye imeungana. And he did not want that because he knows when we are united, 8, 9, 10 million votes, we are very strong, and it is not possible to shortchange us. So you as a region, please be united and have your own identity as a region. Na msiambiwe na watu ati ni mambo ya Kenya, ati ni ukabila, oh we want all Kenyans to be united. You know, when I have listened to the president, when he's talking about Kenya being united, what he means is Kenya being united behind him. That is what he means. Hii akiongea ati mambo ya Kenya kuungana, what he means is behind him. Kenya is not at war with anybody. All communities are working together. The people of Mlembe and others, we are friends. There is nothing to unite us. It's you to unite as a region so that you go and engage other regions who are also equally united. So, kibarua iko kwenu, my friend from the people.
As you speak, do you think that the mountain is one? Because most of political analysts have said that the mountain is divided.
Most of those analysts are not from that region. They don't understand that region. That region learned bitter lessons in the year 1992 and 1997, when, out of lack of experience, we fell into the machinations of President Moi and divided the region, some people behind Kibaki and others behind Matiba, and we lost. Since the year 2002, we have remained united all the time, and that is why we are always in government. And that is why we are going to be the next government. The mountain is one. In fact, we have even now, the Kamba people have come in as Mount Kenya South. The mountain is getting larger. Na tunataka hata nyinyi watu ya Mlima Elgon pia tuungane. You know, tutukue watu moja so that we can make progress. You know, so those are people who are wishing that the mountain is divided so that they can manipulate us politically. I can assure you they will be sorry, they will be ashamed. The mountain will vote in one basket. To a man, 99% they'll vote in one basket. Hiyo ingine ati kugawanya, you can divide leaders. Those leaders ambaye wanatumika na rais kugawanya watu ya mlima, none of them can go home for Christmas. That tells you. Viongozi wako, they are divided, some are in Mombasa, some are in Eldoret, others in Nairobi. None of them can go to the mountain because the mountain itself is solid. And it has said those are traitors to the community. They cannot go home because they are being used by the president to divide the community. And the community has refused. I want to ask the people of Western to have unity of purpose, to be one as Western region. The 4 counties, plus your diaspora in Nairobi and Mombasa, talk as one. Put together 5 million votes and agree to come out on the voting day. And I can assure you, if you do that, you will be in government for eternity. You will never be out of government. But if you continue being divided and you continue dealing with national matters through proxy, through a third party, where will you go as a region? And don't you have competent sons and daughters who can lead this region? Why do you need a third party to lead your community? You can just come directly to the national table as the Luya nation and bargain and negotiate your stake in whatever government that will be formed directly without going through a third party.
Yes. There is a question about impeachment. Considering the laws that the impeachment are tracked, and you are the leader of the mountain, there is likely that you might not be eligible for that public office for another 10 years. Are you considering appointing any other person to push your agenda, political agenda on the table, or you are going to challenge that in court?
I think let's cross the bridge when we reach there. The matter is in court and is ongoing. And irrespective of the outcome, I'm a leader in this country. And I have my own following, which has not been affected by the impeachment. The people of Kenya never impeached me. It's just a few MPs who are given money, senators. That is it. But I still have a large following. I have people who depend on me for political leadership. And there are many Kenyans who can lead. I don't have to be in office. Okay? There are many Kenyans, and I'm not a selfish person. I am somebody who is open-minded. What we want is the best for this country. And we have many leaders, including the ones from Western Kenya, who can lead this country. You know, and we cannot, I don't want to say what will happen in court. We have a court case, and we think the court will give us justice that is favorable to us. But it doesn't matter whatever it is that we are talking to the people, and the people are listening to us. And they are not listening to me because I am in office. I am not in office. They are listening to me because I have something to offer, you know. And if I was as useless as the ones we pictures wanted us to be, they will not be following me all over and disrupting my meetings. If you look at newspapers and the social media, all the government people, they just talk about me every day, much more than they were even talking when I was in office. Which means I have something to offer, and I have some significant contribution to make to the politics of this country. So we'll continue engaging.
Yes,
Yeah. You know, we have a desperate regime that has lost favor with the people of Kenya. Desperate people do desperate things. A police officer threw tear gas at us. The meeting went on, and the people were dealt with by Wananchi. You know, Wananchi are protecting our meetings. Our Wananchi will not allow that kind of nonsense anywhere. So the meeting still went on. Nothing stopped the meeting. These are just desperate people. They have nothing to offer the people of Kenya. There are so many questions, abductions, they cannot answer, cost of living, they cannot answer, poor economic management, they cannot answer. They are left to desperate acts of trying to stop our meetings. In fact, those acts of trying to stop our meetings make the people more agitated by the government, and they become very rebellious. So to us, it's neither here nor there. It's just an act of desperation by a regime that has lost credibility, that has lost legitimacy, that has lost the goodwill of the people of Kenya. And when people are desperate, they are allowed to do desperate things.
Excellency, there are those who say that the attacks are planned by the people so that we can keep sympathy.
Do you want to believe that kind of thing? Do you want to believe anything this government is saying? They say there are no abductions. President said more than 5 times there are no abductions. He seems to have changed his mind and said he is going to stop the abduction. So if he's going to stop the abductions, who was doing them? Do you believe anything these people say? These people will say anything. They are not believable anymore. People are tired of lies, you know, and everything is there. It's on video. People can see what was happening. A fellow was arrested. Last night, the Inspector General of Police ordered that he be released unconditionally because they were behind it, and he's a police officer. But those are desperate acts. They change nothing. They just make the people more a burden.
Based on that, you have been claiming that is after your life.
Who else do you think will be after my life? The answer is you all know the answer. I did not add anything more.
On matters of action, you had said that you're going to
Yes. Yes. I said they need to dismantle that unit. I didn't want to name the building because there are people there doing businesses, and you'll be putting that building and the people in that building into danger. I'm giving the government time to dismantle that unit on the 21st floor of that particular building. I said the officer is called Abel. He is a cousin to somebody very senior in this administration. The cousin now knows that we know him. So I have a feeling, I'm not sure, that the decision by the president to admit that the abductions and he'll stop them are quite informed by what I said, because we are getting nearer to the truth. So, but since the president spoke now, it's almost 64 hours. The people have not been released. We would like these young people to spend the new year with their families. So, Mr. President, you said utakomesha, lakini hawa watoto bado hufika nyumbani. Order their release from wherever they are. Waende nyumbani, wakae na wazazi wao, washerekee mwaka mpya. You know, their parents are in anguish, they are in agony. Kusema utakomesha is not enough. You need to actually do it by having those young people released. And as I said, it doesn't matter how many people you abduct, it doesn't matter how many meetings you disrupt, unless the president deal with the issues that have made the people of Kenya very angry, he's wasting his time. Even if you abduct the whole country, as long as those issues are outstanding, and they have everything to do with poor economic management, theft of public funds, corruption, state capture, and lack of respect for the people of Kenya. Hii kutukana watu wa Kenya, kusema wako na mapepo, calling them stupid, those are the issues that you have to deal with. Even if you abduct young people, it will not solve any problem. It will not.
Maybe your excellency, my name is Milan Musiki, from the State Council. Maybe I have a question. You talked about abduction, and you see not only many people who are lost confidence in this regime that you had before, and you try to put it here now that no one believes this guy. Here is the president saying, tell the parents, I'm going to stop abductions, but take responsibility for your children. Do you believe it's going to stop?
So the president is speaking from both sides of the mouth. He needs to just address abductions. That is what is the work of government. How people bring up their children, I think the president leave parents to take care of their children the way they know. We don't want too much government into people's lives. The president even wants to tell parents how to bring up their children. I mean, surely, you know, it's lack of respect for the people of Kenya. Nikosea watu heshima. Unataka kuniambia vile mimi nitalea mtoto yangu? Rais tumekuchagua utengeneze uchumi, sio kutuambia vile tutalea watoto. These children have no problem. They are just pointing out the ills in society. And let me ask the young people, let me take this opportunity when I'm here in Kakamega County to tell our children, the Gen Zs, the millennials, what you are doing is very good on social media. But it's not enough. These young people, because they have shown patriotism and commitment to liberate our country through the power of the online space, I want to plead with them to go a step further, to take IDs and register as voters. This young generation will sort out the political problems of this country once and for all in 2027. I want to appeal to them wherever they are, that they are doing a good job. But to complete what they are doing and to make it meaningful, we need regime change. And that will come through the ballot. Much as they are doing a very good job on social media, on the X space, much as they are doing very good on TikTok, that is only a certain percentage. But the real job to liberate this country and bring good governance will take place in August 2027. And the young people, who are the majority, have a huge responsibility to sort out this country for us and for themselves, because they are the future of this country. They must register as voters, they must take IDs, and they must leave their homes by 3 a.m. on election day and queue and sort out this country once and for all. That is my New Year message to our young people. That is my plea to them, that we are very happy with what they are doing. They are very courageous, they are very patriotic, but that is not enough. They must go a step further. They must register as voters, and they must come out and join the rest of Kenyans to put a good government into office in 2027. I think you have the answer. If you listen to the people of Kenya, it's an answer I don't need to tell you. You can hear what everybody is saying. Everybody is disappointed that all the promises that were given have turned out to be lies. And bad as it is to lie on those promises, we continue lying to the people more and more. You have seen the things that are going on in the health sector. You have seen the housing program. That housing program has nothing to do with houses for the people of Kenya. It's about business. Very senior people in government have shares in a company that is manufacturing cement, steel, and iron sheets. And that is why the government wants this housing program to go on. That is why there is a housing levy to get enough money so that the people in the housing department, they force the contractor to sign a subcontract for the supply of cement, steel, and iron sheets with a company where very senior people in this government have shares. That is why if you look at clinker was being imported and cement was retailing at 600 shillings. Because of conflict of interest, senior officials in this administration have shares in a company that is manufacturing clinker. And therefore, they stopped the importation of clinker and said clinker will be manufactured here locally. As a result, the price of cement shot from 600 to 900. That 300 shillings, people in government are having a part of it. So you find decisions are being made, not in the national interest, not in the interest of the country, but because of business interests by people in government. And that is where the housing program is being forced down the throats of Kenya. People are saying we don't want, we can put our own houses. The work of government is not to build houses, it's to give services, water, electricity, sewage, roads, security, good business environment. The work of putting up houses is for the private sector. But because of vested interest in the building sector, where people have acquired shares in companies that sell cement, steel, and mabati, the government forces the people of Kenya to give money for that program to continue so that they can continue enriching themselves by doing business in those items that are being used in the housing program.
No, I wish to know whether it disturbs you when former President the current President when it comes, and as a result, the allies of the former President are being brought into government. Does it disturb you?
Why would I? Yeah. Why would it disturb me? Since those people came into government, has the prices of unga gone down? Have abduction stopped? Nothing. I'm not disturbed. I'm not even bothered. It's not even. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. And change of ministers in this government is musical chairs. And I said when I had an interview with NTV, it's pointless. The president makes all the decisions himself. So even if you keep on changing ministers, you bring so and so, you move. It's a game of musical chairs. It has no impact into the overall management of the affairs of this country because all the decisions are made by the president. So it doesn't. It matters less who is minister and who is not.
Does that mean that also you are because he also has, his own share?
Well, I have not heard President Uhuru Kenyatta says he's interested in leading this country. He's retired. So I don't know how would be overlooking him because he's a retired president. We have not seen him participate in politics. So I don't know how his meeting with President William Ruto would affect leadership or politics in this country. He's a retired president. And as far as I am concerned, a meeting between two leaders is as good. There's nothing wrong with it.
What is the relationship currently with the former president after Solskjaer? You recited who is in to raise the fund.
I have asked you whether you want to believe anything that has been said by this government. I don't want to dignify such ridiculous accusations by way of an answer. Uhuru is our son. and he's our leader back at home, and we respect him for the work he has done for this country, and we continue respecting him for what he did for this country.
I want to ask this question. Completely, when you took over, the Kenya Kwanza government took over, you're on the record defending the government that you inherited empty coffers. So that's why the government was unable to carry out some development projects. So are you defending the government out of ignorance, or did you go that time?
I was defending because that is the situation that was presented then. But 1 year down the line, I found we had lost focus, and we were doing things that are not a priority to the people of Kenya because of state capture, the housing program, for example. The changing of the university model, a model that was working, the doing away with the NHIF and bringing a new system called SHIFT when there is no proper interrogation of how it can work. So I was defending because we came in having certain intentions to right what we thought was wrong. But along the way, I found that most of the things that we were doing were not in national interest. And I started saying no. And that is when I started having a problem with the president by saying, no, this is not right. Let's listen to the people of Kenya. The finance bill, Kenyans are opposed to it. I just came, I was listening to the people, and saying this is what the people are saying. And that is where we started having disagreements, because I was insisting that we must listen to the people of Kenya and follow what they are saying.
Namshukran Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. Naitwa Sajida Jaban kutoka Mobile FM Radio hapa Kakamega. Swali langu litahusiana kwamba tangu ulipoweza kubadilika madarakani na mwenzio naibu wa rais wa sasa Profesa Kithure Kindiki akaweza kuteuliwa kama naibu wa rais, je, mlikuwa na mahusiano mazuri sana? Je, uhusiano huo ungalipo baina yako na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua? Swali la kwanza. Swali la pili, alipoteuliwa katika siku ya kuapisha pale KICC, Rais William Ruto alisikika akisema kwamba hakuwa na yule msaidizi wa kumsaidia kuweza kuelimisha Wakenya kuhusiana na miradi ya serikali. Tayari ushataja baadhi ya ajenda za serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Je, kuweza kujua kuhusiana na miradi hii na baadaye tukapata sakata mbalimbali kama vile Adani, ni kipi ambacho ulikijua ambacho Wakenya hawakujua?
Yes, I heard the president say that he was lonely at the presidency because there was nobody helping him to defend government programs. That is true. I was unable to defend most of them because I could not defend theft and corruption. I could not defend Adani. So I was unable to talk about the housing program because when I listened to the people of Kenya, they didn't think it's a priority. I was unable to defend the migration from NHIF to SHIFT because it's not working out well for the people of Kenya. Why I could not do it is because I was elected. I was not answerable to President William Ruto. I was answerable to the people of Kenya. So anything that the people of Kenya had a problem with, ordinarily when you are elected, you don't fight your own bosses, the people who elected you. Ndio mimi nikashindwa kwenda kutetea hizo miradi. But the person the president chose to occupy that office can defend anything because yeye ni mfanyikazi wa rais. Yeye si mfanyikazi ya raia, hajachaguliwa na mtu yeyote. Yeye ni mfanyikazi wa Rais William Ruto. So akiambiwa kwenda sema Adani ni mzuri, anaenda anasema Adani ni mzuri. Shifu ni mzuri, Shifu ni mzuri. Hii ni abduction, hakuna abduction, anasema hakuna abduction. But mimi, when I was still in office, nikiwa Mombasa, I castigated abductions and extrajudicial killings because I was elected by people. When you are elected by people, you must think about them and what they think about what you say and what you do. And that is the difference between an elected deputy president and an appointed one. And that is why the framers of our constitution, made it possible for a deputy president to be elected so that he can be talking for the people and can tell the president, no, this is wrong. But the situation we are having now, there is no difference between the president and the deputy. They are one and the same. So that was the situation. And I really ask the president to forgive me. I couldn't. You know, I was elected, so I couldn't defend corruption. I couldn't defend things that are against the people of Kenya. There was no way I could do it. But it is not because I'm a bad person, but it's because I was elected. And once you are elected, you must respect the people who have given you the job.
Mwisho kabisa, kuna hili swala ambalo wanasema kwamba kuna baadhi ya viongozi wanasema kwamba ni wakati sasa uweze kuketi chini na kunyamaza ili kuweza kuzuia baadhi ya mashambulizi ambayo yanatokea kwa sasa. Na kauli ya mwisho pia nitakuuliza kuhusiana na kuna mpango wa serikali kuweza kuleta ile vaccination ya mifugo mwaka ujao. Kauli yako.
Wale wanasema ni nyamaza si wafuasi wangu, ni watu ya serikali. Watu ya serikali wanitakie vema. So ukisikia wakikwambia unyamaze, ujue unafanya ile kitu nzuri, unaendelea. Because if they meant well for me, they would not have removed me from office. Why are they bothered? If I keep quiet, I am better off. Then why should they wish me well? Yeah, I cannot keep quiet because there are many issues to talk about. We cannot keep quiet when the people of Kenya are suffering, when our children are being abducted, when people are being overtaxed. We must speak because we are leaders. And I was not just speaking because I was in office, because I'm a leader in this country who was elected by the people. I must speak for them. Mambo ya vaccination tunauliza serikali ni sawa, lakini huwezi lazimisha chanjo kwa nguvu. Chukua muda uende ueleze wafugaji faida ya hiyo chanjo, na wakikubali chanjo itaendelea. Wakikataa, ukubali wamekataa kwa sababu ng'ombe ni yake, na huwezi lazimisha mtu kuhusu mambo ya ng'ombe yake. Ng'ombe ni yake, yeye ndiye mwenye kununua, yeye ndiye mwenye kulisha. The cow is this. You cannot do things by force. If you find people are saying no, don't insist. Listen to them. If they say they want the vaccination, go ahead. If they say they don't want, stop it. Kenya is a democracy, and that is why we have a constitution, and it allows people freedom of choice to decide what you want. And you cannot interfere with people's private lives. The cow is mine. I bought it. I'm the one who feeds it. I do what I want with my cow. The government cannot force me to vaccinate my cow if I am not interested, or if you are not convinced me that is the right thing to do. Ile kitu iko inasumbua Kenya hii ni kiburi, ni kulazimisha watu. Nataka kulazimisha watu kila kitu kwa nguvu. Hiyo ni mambo ambayo haiwezekani, imepitwa na wakati.
Ndoa yako na Rais William Ruto kwa ndio wengi sana tulikuwa tukaingia mchana, na baadaye kidogo wengi wakawa wanasema kwamba kile kitu ambacho kilifanya ukaondolewa mamlakani ni maandamano ya Gen Z. Wengi wanasema kwamba you have been behind it, you have been funding Gen Z protest. Is it true?
Sifikiri hiyo ni sababu ya ukweli. It's not true. I defended Gen Z when the president called them criminals, because I don't think they are criminals. I think they are our sons and daughters, and I think they are legitimate concerns. The fact that I defended them does not mean that I sponsored them or funded them, or I'm their leader. And by the way, I wouldn't mind being their leader. Politically, if the Gen Z are behind you, you are very strong politically. It's the wish of any leader in this country for Gen Zs to be behind you. So it's a good wish for me. If the Gen Z can agree to be behind me, I'll be a very happy person. They did not remove me because of that. They refused me because I refuse to support corruption. I refuse to support economic mismanagement of this country. I refuse the president to divide my region, the Mount Kenya region, for political expediency. I said he cannot divide them. Those are the issues. And I refuse to be a yes man, say yes to everything. Those are the issues. Anything to do with the Gen Z or the shareholding or his tribal, that is just talk. But the real thing is that I would not be party to some of the things that the government was doing.
Asante sana.
The last question, please.
We've seen you in the procedure for political leadership. Is there anything you look for opening? Are you going to form another pursuing coalition?
I think if you listen to me speak, I said, we are all working towards liberating this country, but every leader has a responsibility to put his people together. I am putting my people together. Eugene and others are putting their people together. Everybody, once that has been done, we'll be having a conversation in the new year, how do we now come up with a formula of how to come up with responsible leadership that will be responsive to the needs of the people of this country. So this is an ongoing conversation. It's a process. It takes time, but I can assure you that we have patriotic men and women in this country who will do whatever it is, who will sacrifice a lot to make sure that we get the right governance into place for the benefit of the people of this good country.
Asante sana kwa muda wako.
Asante.
Tena Mlenge Nation. Kile kitu ambacho ningependa kuambia kwamba kuna a lot of local and TV and radio stations, national TV stations as well around. So the truth will run and kile tasikika kwingine akisema yale yote ambayo ameweza kusema hapa, lakini thank you so much on behalf of the panelists, the wote wameuliza maswali na all the media stations represented. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Na mimi nimeshukuru sana, nimetakia nyinyi sikukuu njema na mwaka mpya wenye mafanaka kubwa. Na hii Western mtakuwa mkiniona from time to time. Asante. Hii ni mlima yetu.
Labda mheshimiwa Ligi nasema kijambo kama host.